Peggy has the door shut downstairs.
Gotta be quiet once he starts.
Hi, state your name.
My name's Michelle Molinaro.
All right. And you understand you're being videotaped?
Yes.
And we have your permission to do that?
Yes, you do.
And you've signed a release and understand that this is going to be on the internet?
Yes.
I think you laughed at me when I asked you that before because you and your husband are involved in some internet businesses.
Yes. And
do understand that once you put something on the internet, it's there forever. It stays on the internet.
Definitely.
Your stepson was in a motor vehicle accident and suffered a brain injury, correct?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
5 years ago, March 22nd, he was involved in a car accident. He should not have been driving the vehicle, but the girl was intoxicated, so he drove the vehicle, and he was involved in a chase by police officers, and he hit a rock wall and ricocheted into a telephone pole. He was ejected from the driver's seat out the back passenger window. He was, his sneakers were still on the gas pedal, so he was ripped right out. His head hit the metal between the passenger door and the back passenger door. His eye was basically hanging by a thread. He went through weeks of being comatose. His story and what had happened are they're similar, but they're not the same. That's what really did happen.
You listened to his interview?
I did. Oops, his little book.
And so, tell me the difference of what he told us versus what actually happened.
Well, he only remembers what he hears me speak about. So, you know, what he says happened, yes, it's true, but it's not his recollection of what had happened. And he didn't really come to awareness state until probably about October, and he was released July. The situation that really surrounded that is he was in the Trauma 5 hospital at Beth Israel, and then he was put into a step-down unit, still in a coma state. His Glasgow's coma scale was a 4, so there was nothing, no tracking going on, nothing like that. And because of our work and our lifestyle, I was able to actually be there most of the time, which was fortunate. I learned a lot from the therapists, and once we were moved over to Spalding, they had him craned out of the bed into a wheelchair, and that was therapy. He was sitting up. Nothing was going on. There was no vocal, there was no movement from him, but he was there.
You're saying now he was in a coma for, was it 7 weeks?
It was about 7.5 weeks.
And when they said the coma was over, what was different that day versus the day before?
Nothing. No. It was very strange. You know, awakening from a coma, you don't awake. It's not like boom, you're awake. It takes a long period of time before you come out of a comatose state. And the only thing I could say that was, you know, every day there was little progress is, what I say is that all of a sudden there's light bulbs that start going off. And then one day you might have a lot of, you know, the whole house may be lit up. And then the next day maybe only a few. It's just, it's small improvements. But let me tell you, take every grain of morsel you'll take at that point.
What was the first light bulb that went off?
That he actually moved his eyes, that he tracked something.
His eyes opened somewhere before that, but they weren't tracking.
But there was nothing going on.
Did they tell you that he was never going to wake up?
At one point, they said that it was very slim odds, and we had to look at the fact of turning off the respirator and see what happens. And we did actually do that, just to see if he would breathe on his own, and he did.